Carmen Nazat. Did I get it right?
You did.
Okay. Gosh, you guys have such wonderful names out here. You know, people with Adams makes it so simple. You are part of what's going on. We're going to take a tour upstairs, right?
Yes.
In the new Science Center.
Yes.
And tell me about what your role is and what excites you. What gets you excited about coming to work and being a part of this new facility?
So I'm a geosciences professor,
Okay.
and my emphasis in geosciences is geochemistry,
Okay.
especially soil and water composition.
Ah, okay.
So I'm interested in the natural composition of the Spokane River, soils,
Sure.
but also to how we as humans have affected that composition.
Yes.
So adding contaminants to soil and water, for example, and even air.
And we've done our part, haven't we?
We have.
A little overkill.
We have,
but
yes. Yep. And so that's what I study, and that's what I do research in.
Okay.
And the new facility here in the Interdisciplinary Science Center allows for students to be able to learn and research in the same location.
Okay.
So
yes.
in many of these labs, including in the geochemistry lab upstairs, we have a classroom-like setup, but then we also have research grade equipment that the students are able to use, and we analyze samples on there, and it allows them to see how that happens. It's not just sending samples off for analysis where it's a black box and they get data back. So especially because many of our students may be going into environmental consulting and fields like that, they're able to see how data is generated and to understand the quality control that goes into that.
Right. Today's young scientists, and we'll call them that because that's what they want to be. How are they different from folks my age in our learning of 50 years ago or so?
That's a good question. I think today students are definitely more aware of the environmental issues.
Yes.
I mean, if we think back to the beginning of environmental regulations, that didn't really start until the 1960s, 1970s, 1980s. And so they are actually seeing the positive results of the Clean Air Act and the Safe Drinking Water Act.
So we are seeing some positive results.
Yes,
Okay.
there are some positive.
Well, you know, you hear so much about the negative out there. But it's good to know that we are making some of the right changes.
Yes. So, certainly our air is cleaner, our water is cleaner than it used to be, on the whole, at least in the U.S. for the most part.
Right. Yeah, we just built it no matter what. And,
exactly.
Yeah. I grew up in Southern California.
Okay.
And when I go down and visit now, it's much cleaner than it was when I grew up in the 50s. Okay. And so forth. So, yes, we've gotten a little smarter. In fact, I remember going in our backyard and lighting the incinerator to burn our trash.
Oh, yep.
Okay, that's how far back it goes. Okay.
Yep.
We don't do that anymore. Okay. Or when we do it in a clean way that burns 99% or whatever it is. Yes.
Yep.
So, what gets you excited to come to work and to work with these students? And are they going out to the Spokane River and getting samples? Are they doing most of it on campus? How does all that work? Because we have so many places available to go and check out.
Right. We do have a lot of places to sample, and it's been a combination.
Okay.
One of the great things about the Prairie Restoration site here, right on campus, it obviously cuts down on travel time.
Okay.
And students can
So they're going out there too?
Yes.
Okay.
Students can actually get to what turns out to be a partially contaminated site. So by word of mouth, talking to staff and faculty who have been here for a few decades, I learned that there was a trap shooting club on campus.
Yes.
There were also trap shooting classes that happened maybe even until about 20, 25 years ago.
Wow.
And so it turns out that there's a lot of lead in the soil.
Yes.
And so we've been able to distinguish some of those areas where the lead concentrations are high. Yeah. So
have you ever had an opportunity to talk to some of the old students that maybe took classes? That would be kind of fun to do, wouldn't it?
We had an alumni event, and someone introduced themselves and
Yes.
said, I was a student here, and I actually took part of the, one of the trap shooting classes. So I'd love to be able to hear more about
Yes.
people's experience
Yes.
with that. And this is one of those things too, where we, as a science community, as individuals, we grow and we learn more about
Sure.
some of the things
Yes.
that we've done that may seem harmless might actually leave a lasting impact on the environment. So one is just to know what impact that is.
That's fun.
Right.
That's fun. What else goes on in this building in your area that's so exciting?
We have students collect water samples, tap water samples, bring them in. We look at water hardness and things like lead. Obviously, we have places like Flint, Michigan, where drinking water is still contaminated in
Yes.
some places.
Yes.
And so many students are interested in what's in their water.
Right.
We go out to the Spokane River and look at zinc concentrations, which is from a legacy effect of the mining in the Silver
Sure,
Valley in
sure.
Idaho, and that
Yeah.
can
Are we
have-
still seeing the results of that?
Yes,
Yes. Okay.
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
I wondered about that.
There are tons
Yeah.
and tons of
It's
waste
going to be
material.
hundreds and hundreds of years before that is cleaned out, probably,
Yes. Yep.
if at all.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. So we have a number of different projects, and I like to typically I try to steer students into a direction where I know that I can assist them with the research, where
Yes.
we have the instrumentation to analyze those samples. But I like to let them look and explore on their own too, because I've found that they're much more excited if they have an idea
Yes.
rather than me providing
Right,
them with one.
How exciting is it to have this science center here, and your old science center is going to be put into research labs, and to have that separated so that you've got more space, you can have more students.
Mhm.
Are the numbers growing in the science areas? I would think so.
Probably overall, but
Yeah.
with the pandemic,
Well, yeah,
it's decreased.
we
So-
almost have to go back 3
Yes.
years or so.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
that chunk of pie that
Right.
we just got to take out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the STEM field, science, technology, engineering, manufacturing, in math, there has certainly been an increase
Yeah.
to increase the number of students going into the STEM fields.
Good.
And so we have seen some of that
Yeah.
in
Great.
Eastern.
Any last comments of things that we should all know, other than I get the feeling that you're kind of excited about what you do.
I am.
And there's nothing absolutely wrong with that.
Right.
It's so exciting to see other people just want to go to work, want to learn, want to teach, because
Absolutely.
we all teach one way or the other,
Yep.
and so forth.
Absolutely.
And-
I think we have something special here at Eastern because
Yes.
we have students, there are several universities that they can pick from locally. Here we are undergraduate focused,
Yes.
and so we work hands-on
Yes.
hands-on with
Yes.
our undergraduate students. They
Right.
get an opportunity to do research, whereas at some universities, not all students are going to have that opportunity.
Right.
There are master's and PhD
Right,
students,
right.
and so an undergraduate might be assisting them, but we are looking to work directly with our
I love
undergraduate
it.
students, and so that's hands-on learning for them.
It's really a hidden gem in some ways
Mhm.
out here in Cheney. We get to have more opportunities sometimes to see things going on at
Yes.
the Catalyst building downtown,
Absolutely.
which was just dedicated a little over a year ago.
Yes.
We're going to, EWU is doing good things, and it's leading the pack, isn't
Yes.
it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.